it's more, I'm a little smarter than you. Sometimes they get the fear that you are afraid of me. And if they get the feeling that you are afraid of me, or some fear is running, somebody's going to start take advantage of it. And that's where the residential advisors and counselors and all that come in to help the student, to help them to realize, hey, we're one people, we're here for the same purpose. So we gotta just back off of this stuff. Nobody's dominating nobody here. And that's where one of the RA's role, as I was before, when the supervisors always had to say, we gotta be on our feet. You gotta be active, you gotta be walking down the wings, you gotta be listening. These doors are closed. But if you're walking down the wing and coming there frequently enough, you soon begin to realize when something is happening. I have had occasions to walk down the wing and somebody just said, hello, how you doing, Mr. Smythe? And they're not telling you hello. Something's up. So you got to bust in the door and check what's up. They said nothing's going on. You kind of watch a setting and just hang around for a while. You kind of need to let your presence be felt. And there are days I went to work, took my shoes off, walked down the halls without shoes, and I'm doing it for a purpose. You walk down the room, take your own ears, listen what's going on, and if you hear a sound that is not too right, just knock inside. Sometimes you just gotta pop it. Even though it's coded, you need to be courteous, but sometimes if you be courteous, some things could slip you.
Working there as long as you have, you surely got some interesting stories.
A whole lot.
Can you give me an example or a couple examples?
One morning I was alone in the dorm. I was the only one in the dorm, and I heard a sound. I was sitting in the lobby. It's probably about 7:30. No, it's probably earlier than that. Maybe about 7 o'clock. People are still in the shower. I heard a loud sound, and I ran down to the bathroom, to find that there 2 students were fighting. And I had to diffuse that kind of setting, get some students with the help of the leadership on the wing, get the students into my office, get them in different places so that I was able to have them make notes of what took place and got the whole scene settled down. I mean, in a normal situation that I should have probably called for security to come and help resolve the issue, but hey, I was able to settle the situation, take all the statements, write what I had to do. A couple of people got sent home because of it, because it wasn't revealed is that some things were happening before and nobody didn't want to speak about it. In this particular case, students were waking other students up and doing it very loudly, and somebody was just not saying to the RA, look, I really don't like how John Brown wakes me in the morning. So it happened. I also remember another case of a student named Brown. Every now and again I forget his name. He came in and he was probably about 17. He was up in the mornings like, man, 2, 3 in the morning, you're supposed to go to bed, man. Why are you up? And he's been walking up and down the streets, the dorm, the lobby, the wing, he's up and out. And I tried to get him to bed and he cusses me out, and he went on until one night he says, you know what? All of my male relatives are in jail. I came here because my grandmother said you better go. And he sat and told his story how he's did all kind of stuff in his life. And we talked to him, and he finally started saying yes sir. And, come to find out, he didn't have a GED. Took classes, got his GED. He went to trade, completed in culinary arts. He not only did that, he met a girl, female, and they got engaged. He became the president for the wing. He almost became like the president for the whole dorm. He speaks, when he speaks, everybody listens to him. He was very good. And I remember the morning when we had to pack him out, he was going home. He's finished, got his GED, got his certification, got everything. it was almost like, before that he said to us, nobody really cared about us. You guys did. That's why I'm leaving here like this. My life is not going to be different. And I almost cried that morning. It was just very, very touching. He went, left. He said he was going to go to the military. I gathered his girlfriend. He got married. She got a baby. And he said, I don't know, probably changed his mind, started a good family. That's a very good story for me because I use it all the while. I think of another student who came in. When he came, he had a girlfriend who was pregnant. He's an African American. He had a Caucasian girlfriend, and this girl kept calling, wanted him to come home. He didn't have a GED, no trade, no nothing, and we kept telling him, man, if you go home now, you ain't gonna have a job. What are you going to use to take care of? And he says, well, the girl's father and parents are discarding her, and we had to tell him, look, this family is going to have a grandchild. They're not going to discard their grandchildren. Okay? You got to settle down here, finish your GED, make sure you get a trade before you leave. And eventually he did. After a lot of struggles, he did. Graduated. I was very glad when he left. I mean, this is just like 2 or 3 stories. Or, walking outside in the hallways and out in the yard, and there's a group of guys making noise, and if you're not used to these kind of settings, man, guys meet together and start, hey. He's like, man, are you gonna have a war or something? They're just cheering themselves, they just cheer, be nice. You walk up in the midst of it and just kind of look around, see what's going on. Nothing is happening. And hey, but if you're not used to that setting, you think they're about to start a war or something. And the other experience too is trying to help, just sit down and talk to some of these students. For example, I'm from Jamaica, and a large number, it seemed to me that a large number of young people smoke. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they do drugs. Hey. So when they come to me and talk to me and they say, where you from? I said, Jamaica, and they smile. You got some of that good stuff, man. I said, what are you talking about? Man, you go like you don't know what we're talking about. What do you mean? Man, we're talking about the ganja, marijuana. I said, yeah, it's in Jamaica, but I never did it. Man, you're a liar. Every week, anybody I talk to about it, they can't believe me that I never smoked marijuana. I smoked 2 cigarettes in my whole life. 1, I couldn't afford it. 2, my father would paddle me if he ever knew that I was smoking. He did not smoke. He don't want no smoker in his house. He don't want me to drink. He had this whole idea of who I'm going to be, and I couldn't stray away from it. So when I talk to these students, it's like, man, you're a liar, man. How can you not come from Jamaica where you have the good stuff and don't smoke? So that is the other piece of me of trying to share with students that you don't have to be, marijuana is available in Jamaica, but it's not legal. And it's like, what are you talking about? That I don't smoke it. And it's like, man, I ain't gonna believe you. Sometimes they just end the discussion and walk away. They don't want to hear it because they think everybody smokes. That's one of the amazing things for me, because I know that when I came here, there are some people in Jamaica, if they knew what it was, if they saw it, they would know it. Because there were people there, they're not in touch with this stuff. They ain't care. That's not a part of their lifestyle. So it's that's how it is. Not because the thing is available mean everybody else wants it. And that's something I try to share with these students. But hey, that's some of the goals and dreams of my life. So Job Corps, good place to be.